Joe Hopkins here, and well, I've got two acoustic guitars. Why do I have both of them out here? Well, this is my Sawtooth, and I just bought it a little bit ago. And I was thinking, man, this thing is nice. And this is my Xaviere. I bought this a couple years ago, and I've thought, man, this thing is nice. Both of them I really like, and I wanted to compare them, get a good comparison of the two. So, you know, I've got microphones set up right down here to capture them with, and I figured I'd give them a side-by-side look at these things, because which one's better? I mean, this one cost more, but it's also got a Fishman pickup in it. This one costs a little bit less, but it doesn't have a pickup in it. Now, you know, you can get the Xavieres with the GFS piezo pickups in them, and the GFS pickups are really nice. But this one I got on sale, so it just, you know, this is what was available. It didn't have it in there. I'd have liked it, but it doesn't have it. And big deal. So we're just using the microphone, right? We're not going to compare pickups because only one of them has a pickup. Now, the first comparison is just in looks. Obviously, this has a cutaway. This one doesn't. You know, big deal there, right? Doesn't matter that much to me. I think Xaviere sells ones with cutouts. They're made of different wood. Both has a spruce top, right? Pretty similar. But the Sawtooth is maple. The Xaviere is rosewood, which both pretty fancy. Flame maple, rosewood, they're both pretty fancy. Both of them have binding. The Xaviere has like a little fancy pattern around on the binding. Both of them have pretty nice, you know, what is it, inlays. They both look nice. I don't know if you can see the ones on the Xaviere that well. It's like these little diamonds, but they're darker, so it's harder to see on camera there. But overall, what we're concerned about with guitars is how do they sound, right? Well, I'll start with my Xaviere. I've owned this one longer. Now, just from playing them both, I've found, personally, to my ears, and I think it's true, that the Xaviere has kind of a deeper, darker, richer tone. Right, it's got a nice dark, you know, nice deep tone to it, a lot of tone. Yeah, it sounds really kind of full, rich, you know? I'm getting rusty there. Anyway, you can hear how it sounds. I love it. Yeah, it plays pretty easy. It's pretty good action on it. Yeah, it's got a nice sound. Yeah, you know? However, I have bought this Sawtooth, and I really like it too. You can hear this one seems to have a brighter, punchier tone to it. And, you know, sometimes you want one, sometimes you want the other. I can't really make up my mind which one I like better, to be honest with you, you know? Ah. Yeah. Yeah, you can hear it doesn't have as much low end. It's got a lot more mid-range. Xaviere, more low end. This one, more mid-range. Yeah, you can compare that to this. Oh, fell over. Oh no. Let's pick it up there. There we go. Yeah, you can hear the difference, right? Deeper, darker, you got punchier. Yeah, that definitely has less bass, more mid-range. The question is, what are you looking for? In my opinion, if I'm recording, right, I really like the sound of the Sawtooth. Yeah, kind of like that punchier tone. For recording, just because there's less I'm going to have to cut out with the EQ. Because a lot of that lower stuff starts to conflict with your bass guitar. It kind of conflicts with other things in there. You got to kind of start scooping stuff, and this, I can hear it and say, yeah, there's less I'm going to have to scoop out of that, right? That just has a nicer tone to it. It shows you how different woods sound different. Maple compared to rosewood, and that rosewood definitely just has a darker tone. However, when I'm sitting around playing the guitar, like singing along and just playing for myself, I kind of like that. I like having a lot more bass in it. And I think I would like this more for recording if it's just going to be acoustic. If I'm just using an acoustic guitar and recording, I don't know, it seems like this one might have more to it, more depth. Like it sounds fuller. But also, I don't know, it sounds a little bit, just a touch of mud to me, you know? Not detrimentally so, but enough that if I'm doing a real full mix, you know, drums, bass, keyboards, just sounds like there's less of this to get in the way of other things, you know? Because when you have a full mix, you don't want this competing with the bass guitar. You don't want it competing with the keyboards. You don't want to, you know, getting mixed in with the drums and not really. You want it the acoustic guitar to just have kind of like that nice strummy sound there, separate from everything else, right? And this has got it. That's punchy. That could be good for recording lead too. It's just, it doesn't have that slight muddiness in the lower notes. Yeah, those low notes on a mix, man, they can get lost. Down there, that can kind of get lost in the mix, and the higher notes show through better. This sounds like those lower notes had punched through a little bit more than on the Xaviere. Yeah, if you're doing a solo. And I like that. But then I go back to the Xaviere, and it just... Yeah, that's got kind of like a full oomph to it, you know, on the low end. Just seems to have a little bit more down there. And seems to have a little bit more volume, too. I don't know, the microphone might pick it up differently. Just from my end, what I'm hearing more... a little more volume on that guitar than I am on the Sawtooth. Well, I don't know. No, you know, I think the Sawtooth might have just as much volume. They're about the same size guitar. This one might have as much volume. I don't know. The Xaviere, I know I keep saying I don't know a lot, but the Xaviere seems to have more, just, once again, a fuller sound, you know, which you don't always want. I can say the Sawtooth is just a little bit easier to play, especially on like lead. My wife likes the Sawtooth better. I don't know if it's just because she thinks it's a prettier guitar, or she just likes the way it sounds better. She likes the way it sounds more than the Xaviere, but that's her. And I really dig the Xaviere. I also do like that dark rosewood, right? Let me get it in the light there. Yeah. I think that's good looking. Yeah, so I guess in conclusion, since I should get to wrapping this up a little bit, which one do I think is better? I love them both, and I love them both for different things. Because if I'm just playing and singing, I really like this Xaviere, right? I like the way my voice sounds with it. If I'm recording, I think I'm going to go with the Sawtooth. And not just because it has a piezo pickup. Even if this one had one, I think this just sounds really, really good for recording with. But that doesn't mean I won't record with this one. Because I'm thinking of doing some more acoustical type stuff in the future. I might go back and forth between the two. But these two guitars, definitely either one of them would be an excellent choice for any guitarist. Now keep in mind, I do have to say, Xaviere has had in the past, and I think they still do, a wider variety of acoustic guitars. Sawtooth has this one, which they have in 6 and 12 string, and they have an all mahogany one, which is cool looking. That's a cool looking guitar. They have different sizes in the mahogany one, but they don't have a lot, as much variety as Xaviere. If you like Xaviere, this is the rosewood, spruce top, rosewood sides and back guitar. But they have others on their site. I'll put a link to both of their websites down below here in the description. But Xaviere definitely has more like variety. They have more models to choose from of acoustic guitar. But I mentioned these two brands because there aren't a lot of budget brands that are doing acoustic guitars really, really well. It's kind of Sawtooth, Xaviere, and Harley Benton. And I don't really have a Harley Benton that would compete with these that well. I have a 12 string that would fit in this mix, but it's a 12 string. And I've got my Delta Blues, which is all mahogany, which sounds way different than these spruce top guitars, right? My 12 string's a spruce top guitar, but once again, it's a 12 string. So I thought I'd compare these two, right? I've got to be honest with you. I think both of these brands are better than Harley Benton for acoustic guitars. But not by a ton. But yeah, these, in my experience with acoustic guitars, Xaviere and Sawtooth are the best I've tried so far. Hands down. I really adore both of these guitars. And I've played a lot of acoustic guitars in my day. These stand up with some of the expensive ones I've played. And, traditionally, I really like Seagull guitars, right? They're made by Godin, and I really like them. And I like Taylor. They make good guitars. For the budget brands, this is about the best you can get, man. And they're both absolutely excellent for way less money than those other brands I mentioned. So there you go. Nice little comparison. One other thing that you might want to mention. This one has a strap button on the bottom and the top, whereas with the Xaviere, you kind of have to get one of those loops to hook your strap up to the headstock. If you're not into that kind of thing, I guess go with the Sawtooth, right? But, a lot of acoustic guitars don't have a top strap button, and the Xaviere doesn't. I don't know if their other models do. So there's my review of these two. There's my comparison. And I guess go with the one that you think sounds the best, that looks the best, that fits your budget the best. Both of these are excellent. I love the way they both sound. And it's going to be a joy for me to edit this video so I can listen on the microphone how both of them come through compared to each other. That's another reason I'm doing this. I want to get an idea myself because I'm going to be recording stuff with one or both of them. So anyway, there you guys have it. Y'all should totally subscribe to my channel and check out my album. There are links below to streaming sites. It's called I Didn't Get a Memory by Joe Hopkins. And what else is there? Here at the end, there's an end screen. There's some playlists come up. Check out my reviews playlist where I review both of these guitars among many others. And there's a playlist of my album on YouTube. I put it on there, and there's a playlist of it. You can just click on it on the end screen and listen to it, see what you think. Check out more than one song, because they all sound very different from each other. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. I love y'all. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.